J&P up here.
Hi and welcome to Freedom Watch Afghanistan. I'm Corporal Todd Hunter. When the infantry calls for fire during a battle, they need that support to be well aimed and on time. Specialist Matthew Little reports Army artillery soldiers are showing Afghan forces how to ensure that happens safely and effectively.
Afghan National Army gather around the M198mm howitzer during immersion training at Forward Operating Base Kalagoosh in northern Afghanistan. During the last 2 weeks, these Afghan service members have run gun drills, learned commands, and have prepared as much as they can for today's event, live fire. Artillery Section Chief, Sergeant First Class Wade Hunter, is in charge of today's particular training.
The basics for artillery is crew drills, shell fuse combination, and pretty much how a team operates to execute a round, to fire a round in a howitzer.
Today the Afghans are just shooting at the mountainside, but according to their instructors, that when the time comes to fire for real, area targets will go down. Reporting for the 22nd MPAD, I'm Specialist Matthew Little, Forward Operating Base Kalagoosh, Afghanistan.
Earlier this week, coalition forces assisted Afghan National Security Forces as they discovered a weapons cache in eastern Afghanistan. The Afghan-led force planned and executed the mission after receiving credible information of a possible weapons cache in their area. They later found and recovered 12 anti-personnel mines and 1 mortar round. But weapons are only half the equation. A combined Afghan and coalition forces operation detained 11 suspected insurgents during an operation in southern Afghanistan. The combined force searched compounds targeting a Taliban leader responsible for several attacks against coalition forces and providing financial support to Taliban fighters. 2 other Taliban leaders were killed by International Security Assistance Force soldiers in a separate operation in southern Afghanistan's Helmand province. There is no evidence of any civilian casualties during either operation. And now here's a look at your photos from the field.
Afghan National Army's Recruiting Command gained 113 recruits for the Afghan National Army just last month. The Recruiting Command kept this momentum going by holding recruiting leadership conferences.
Many service members deployed downrange work long, hard hours day in and day out, giving them little to no free time. Marine Corporal Nick Sweet introduces us to one soldier who spends the small amount of free time he has volunteering as a college instructor.
There are many service members stationed in combat zones seeking higher education, but there aren't always enough qualified teachers around to hold classes. That's why Central Texas College has asked for anyone with the educational qualifications and leadership skills to help out as volunteer instructors. Sergeant Major Jose Velasquez heard this call for help and has answered it.
Education for me has always been very important. It's been a lifelong goal of mine to get through different milestones of the educational process, and it's just important for me to pass that along to the younger generation. So hopefully it doesn't take them as long as it took me to get my education.
And though Velasquez may not be getting paid for his service, his work isn't going unnoticed.
I appreciate what he does. Like, he's taking his time out not only to take care of like his own soldiers, but taking care of other soldiers, making sure that they're doing good in school.
Though his actions may serve the community well, he's not just doing it for them, he's also doing it for himself.
Ask yourself, what can I give and what can I gain from this experience? And go into an environment that you really love.
And for Velasquez, it's a classroom full of students eager to learn. Marine Corporal Nick Sweet, Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan.
And that's all for this edition of Freedom Watch Afghanistan. I'm Corporal Todd Hunter. Thanks for watching.